Hello and welcome back to Defending the Game. I'm Finn, and in this video I'll be taking one of the 450 plus cars in Forza Horizon 4 and giving them a bit of a makeover. I first came across the idea for this design during a live stream of the game on the 2nd of October 2018. Me and Tom were bombing across Glen Rannoch looking for a race to take part in. We've been playing for about 10 minutes, but I was yet to spot Tom's vehicle.
I can see Tom's name on Finn's screen. It's on the left there, Tom Brew.
I don't need to be there for it, I just wanted to be in screen when he appeared. So he's of course cutting the corner so he won't see me.
Go back.
There he is.
Where is he?
Left.
Where is he?
Left. I can see him on screen, right there.
Hey! Tom, I thought we were playing a racing game. Put the children's toys away and get in the car.
Oh, you want to be that in a race?
I think I can.
Are you sure
This thing is gonna get you.
Tom's guy looks happy.
My guy's never been happier.
We have
Bye!
Where'd you go, Tom?
Drove off a
Did you
cliff.
see that on your screen?
I saw him go off into the sunset, Thelma and Louise style.
He just disappeared off the edge. I then quickly looked at Tom's screen to find him tumbling down a cliff.
You may recognise this as the Peel P50, the smallest production car ever made. It was 56 kilograms in weight when it first rolled off the factory, and has an unmodified top speed of 37 miles per hour and no reverse gear. Along with the Peel Trident and the original Fiat 500, it belongs to a much overlooked series of vehicles, the microcar. But there is one more microcar included in Forza Horizon 4 that I haven't mentioned yet. The 1957 BMW Isetta 300. This modest bubble-shaped microcar was 16 miles per hour faster than the P50, with a 4-speed manual transmission and more than 6 times the weight. Oh, and it also had a reverse gear. Despite over 160,000 of them being made, the Isetta was considered a little bit of a laughingstock in its current state and barely competitive in a race scenario. So, inspired by Thomas Fisher-Price P50, let's take the Isetta and make it race-worthy. First things first, we need to get this BMW some much needed power. We're getting rid of that weedy 1-cylinder engine and replacing it with a peppy motorbike engine. Next, onto the bodywork. Let's bin this ugly front fender and lessen the weight at the front of the car. We're not going to need the luggage rack either, and losing the rear bumper will weight save as well as giving us more canvas to paint later. We'll need more responsive tyres, so I'm going to replace them with some classic vintage ones. For the purpose of the build, I'm going to swap out the rims for a more flowery design. Later on, you will see that I increased the size of the rear wheels from 10 to 12 inches, as well as including fatter front tyres. This was done to give the rear wheels more grip when sliding through long corners. Lowering the suspension will make this 63-year-old car cling to the bends more effectively. Stability is also improved by adding some metal beam bars to the roof of the Isetta. The biggest improvement to the handling will come by upgrading those tired stock brakes for top-of-the-line racing ones. A short fix to improve acceleration rather than putting a whole new transmission block into the car is just to upgrade to a high-performance clutch. The speed at which you shift gears will be quicker, but the top speed is more or less unaffected. It's great if you want to upgrade but still stay within a particular performance class of car. And with that, the Isetta now stands a racing chance. It's time to move on to the cosmetics. When me and my little sister were younger, we used to play on the landing of our parents' house with our toy cars. We created a game where you would split the cards into 2 teams and smash them together like marbles. Whichever vehicle crashed out of the central area would be eliminated until only 1 toy car remained. Or until my sister would take her larger pink convertible Barbie car and throw it across the landing, obliterating any of my remaining toy cars. So, in honour of this, I'll be transforming the BMW Isetta into Sarah's game-breaking pink Barbie car. Or the Barbie Isetta, if you will. Remember those flowery rims I installed earlier? Well, I'm going to make them really stand out with a bright shade of purple. This one should do. The BMW Isetta would be incomplete without the perfect shade of pale pink. I'll play around with shades for a while here, but I finally find one that I'm happy with. A method I like to use to help quell the daunting task of styling the main bodywork is to break it up into sections. It will help compartmentalise the build in your mind, as well as adding a bit of realism to the build as you find the natural lines of the vehicle. For instance, here there is a very obvious dividing line between the top and bottom of the car underneath the windows. There's also a natural Y-shaped groove in the hood. I'm going to keep these in mind for later. And as you can see here, I start blocking out the largest areas with simple primitive vinyls. I'm going for a basic 2-colour design for this. This shade of purple provides a nice contrasting shade to the paler pink, as well as giving the matching rims even more presence. With the hood blocked out, I had a much easier time with the side panel. Small detail to add on this side was to the headlights. The clipping mask on this vehicle was a little janky to say the least, but I managed to stretch this vinyl quite successfully over the bulbous headlamp, and then copied this for the front and rear lights. Conveniently, the programmed in clipping mask also carries this vinyl over to the other side as well, which saves me valuable time later. The rear exhaust air filter thingy also receives the purple treatment. Turning to the right hand side, we face a dilemma. How do we recreate the design on the other side without it being ever so slightly askew? Luckily, Forza Motorsport games have this nifty feature called Insert All from Right Left Side, which is exactly what it says on the tin. That's much better. Nothing much blocking left to do now, bar a few touch-ups. With the blocking done, we need to break up these blank colour palettes with a few decals. As some of you may know, I am a 90s child, so this is the Barbie logo I remember the most vividly, and it is the one I'll be recreating here. I'll be compiling all the letters from individual shapes, so I've decided to use the group vinyl system for this. I could apply them directly to the car, but the final look will be very imprecise, and outside factors like lighting effects and angles on the bodywork would distort the image considerably. I also take my time here to tweak the smaller vinyls at the edges of the letters to ensure there are no broken lines or wonky curves as I go along. Now it's time to slap on a few decals. To make this alternate version of the Barbie logo, I simply saved a copy of the group of vinyl that I've made earlier, and deleted all the unnecessary letters. I then replaced them with a simple flower in the bottom right hand corner and saved it again. I also added the same flower design onto the side panels, hood and rear side of the vehicle to add a bit of variety. And with that, the Barbie Isetta transformation is complete. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Finn's Forza Fixerupper, and if you haven't already done so, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you like what you've seen here today. And if you have any ideas for which vehicle I should soup up next, please put them in the comments or let me know on Discord. Bye everyone!